You need to realize that no matter what happens to you in life, I know this is kind of a hard one to swallow, but you are not a victim. You got to not play the victim for too long. I know some people have gone through real tough things, but the problem with having the victim mindset is it takes away your ability to confront the situation. It removes your power in your own decisions and capacity to do something about the situation that you're in. That's why nowadays it's being pushed, the victimization of people, because then those people indirectly, subconsciously have been stripped of their capacity of doing anything about their situation in life. So you really want to accept the fact that you're not a victim and just accept the situation that you're in and move on, take action and do everything that's possible to advance in the direction that you want to advance, make the progress that you want to make. You're not a victim. Of course, I know not everyone comes from the same situation, so I know it's harsh to say that you're not a victim. I'm just saying it really to snap you out of that mentality, to help you, okay? It's not that I'm not empathetic with your situation. Of course, it's a tough situation. A lot of people I know, you come from really tough situations, but it doesn't help you to have the victim mindset or to hold onto the identity of being a victim. As you hold onto the identity of being a victim, you also will keep behaving in the manner that keeps you being a victim. You've got to break out of that chain of events so that you can then produce the results that you want to produce. If you want something better for yourself, it doesn't help you to think that you're a victim. I'm not saying you're not. It just doesn't help you to think that you are, okay? So you've just got to stop identifying with that victim side of yourself or the thing that happened. See it as something that is a blessing. I know that might be absolutely ridiculous in some circumstances to think that, but it's the only thing that's going to actually help you. It's the only way that you can turn that situation into something positive. So you've got to actually make it into a blessing. The thing is, when you've got a victim mentality, it's taking away all your power in your actions and your capacity to do something about your situation. If you're stuck in the victim mindset, it's not going to aid your ability to change the situation. You've got to, at some point, just accept that whatever happened to you may have been unfair, may have been harsh and tough to deal with, but you've got to just accept it and move on and take whatever lesson you can take from it, even if it's just the fact that life's unfair sometimes, and that you've got to learn to deal with that. That's actually a really underrated skill, the ability to accept the unfairness of some parts of life sometimes and just move on and still keep trying your best and not letting that demoralize you. So even if it's just that you can take out of it, that's an underrated skill, to be honest. That's like worth its weight in gold. And that's when you are able to accept that some things are unfair sometimes. It's empowering because you give up on trying to change things that are not within your power to change them anyway, and you accept them, and you don't ruminate over things that you can't do anything about anyway. You just accept them and move on, and then focus on the things that you can change and take action to the fullest extent that you can possibly do to change the things that you can change. And that's going to be extremely helpful for you to then make things the way that you want them to be. To really understand the concept of contraction and expansion. So when you're driving a car, you want to change gears, or when the engine wants to shift gears, you have to take the foot off the accelerator for a moment and change the gear into a higher gear and then keep accelerating, and then that's going to allow you to go faster. So this is something that you could also apply to human evolution and growth as a person. Sometimes you've got to build up a certain level of momentum so that you've got the ball rolling, take the foot off the gas a little bit, take a rest, change gears, get ready for the next level of output, and then shift the gear into the higher gear, and then keep going, keep pushing. That's how it is as a person, as a human being. Sometimes you've got to really push the accelerator to get the ball rolling, and then once you've got the ball rolling, you've got to take the foot off the accelerator, off the gas for a little bit, have a little rest, have a break, and then put the foot back on the gas to keep going and gaining higher speed and momentum. And then again, the ability to shift gears. That's a valuable skill as well. So yeah, when you change gears on a car, you have to take the foot off the accelerator and then change the gear, put it into a higher gear, and then put the foot back on the accelerator. It's the same what you have to do with your life. Sometimes you have to take the foot off the gas just to be able to shift the gear into a higher gear and then keep accelerating if you want to gain higher speeds. That's just one of the methods that has to be undertaken. It's the same with money. If you think about it, you save up to a certain point, yeah, you accelerate the money to a certain point, and then you've got to take the saving of the money, you know, like stop working a little bit and maybe not accelerate so much money, and then shift the gear. So invest the money, invest it into a business or something, and then accelerate again, keep working hard. You change the gear, you shifted gear, then you're able to go faster and earn more money as well. Quite a cool little analogy, I think. That's it, the art of shifting gears. That's not necessarily always to raise your production output as well. You can also shift the gear, take off the gas, and lower the gear, and then change the strategy. Use the taking the foot off the gas to then re-strategize, regroup in your mind. It's like the concept of contraction and expansion at the end of the day. And you've got to master the art of shifting gears. You go through certain stages in your life where it's not all going to be go, go, go. Sometimes it's better to stop, take a step back, think about things. That's it. A lot of people, they make the mistake, they think that you make money with hard work. Yeah, you make money with hard work, but you make more money with your brains. Like, your brains is what really is going to make you money. So you've got to optimize your brain. That's the way it is, really, if you think about it objectively. And how do you optimize your brain? Well, sometimes you got to not work so hard, not put so much effort in. Hustle. You got to give your mind and body a little bit of time to rest and to gather its thoughts and to unwind, to come up with the ideas. Just give it a little bit of time, a little bit of calmness for it to come up with the ideas by itself, because the ideas are there inside. You pick up information from the day-to-day, from living on your day-to-day. You pick up little nitbits of information, and you then put that together, and you can easily build a web of information that can turn into a business. But these ideas are not going to come to you, or rarely come to you, when you're fully in work mode, hustle mode all the time. You've got to take yourself out of that hustle mode and give yourself a little bit of time to think about things first, or a little bit of downtime to come up with the right ideas and really think about things and what you want out of life as well, and really strategize. It's like they say, money is just an idea, an execution. That's all it is.